Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back in Swiss, Shadows Over Innistrad, drafting away. Probably just taking the always watching. Yeah, we've got Duskwatch Recruiter in here as well, Reckless Scholar, Tooth Collector, some really powerful cards, but that is quite the rare. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please like this video, and come check me out on Twitch if you haven't already. My schedule is Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. I usually wake up early and stream all day. And you can find the link to my Twitch channel in the video description. Also, this week's episode of Whose Card Is It Anyway? I haven't been plugging this enough, so check that out with Dennis from Windmill Slam and I, a card competition contest that we do about every week. And that has been a lot of fun, so thanks everybody for your submissions on that. And be sure and check that out. That's also in the video description. All right. Taking, always watching. Follow-up pick. Well, in white, if we wanted to stick to white, we have Reaper of Flight Moonsilver, which is a good card. We also have Fiery Temper, which might... Well, I mean, the thing is, we really do want to actively cut white because we very much want to play always watching. This is a very powerful rare. And it is certainly a reason to force white. The only white pick in this whole pack is Reaper of Flight Moonsilver. Fiery Temper is a very good card, though. I probably just still take the Reaper, completely cut white off from this pack. I mean, Reckless Scholar and Fiery Temper are both very good, and the Rats actually are good too. But I think taking the Reaper, it's not early. I don't think it's as exciting a pick as a Fiery Temper, but like I said, cutting the only white pick off early I think is super beneficial. It really does help sort of carve your way into that. Like now we can take the Cathar, cut the only white pick out of this. There is an Anguished Unmaking. Have not been impressed with this card. It is certainly playable, and it'll certainly do some work for you. But what I've found is this format has been much more aggressive than I think anybody really anticipated it being. And cards like Anguished Unmaking, losing 3 life is a big payment. Like, it may seem like it's a very cheap, efficient way to deal with any non-land permanent, because it is. It's 3-mana instant. But losing 3 life is really detrimental, in my opinion. Dauntless Cathar. Is it Cathar? Cathar? I always thought it was Cathar, but I guess we'll find out. Whatever. All right, well, 4th pick Lambholt Pacifist could be a sign we're looking for. There's also a Tenacity here. Pacifist is easily a first pick, I would say, a lot of time. It's just a very powerful card, and I would say getting a 4th pick one is quite the sign. So we're going to take it over Tenacity. I think Tenacity is a very good card, too. But Pacifist is just really that bomby, where you could justifiably first pick it and be completely regret-free. Very powerful green card. And it happens to work really well with Always Watching as well. It's one of those cards that just can take the game over on turn 2. So, gonna take it. Okay, so now we have Spectral Shepherd. We have Vessel of Nascency, which can find Always Watching. Actually has some synergy with Dauntless Cathar and Reaper of Flight Moonsilver as well. So, there's also Puncturing Light. Manic Scribe. It's kind of a fun card. Uninvited Geist, which I never seem to play, but I've certainly played against quite a few times. I kind of want to take the Vessel here. Taking Spectral Shepherd seems very good too, though. It does fly. Would let us continue cutting white. And it's the fact that it's evasive is relevant. Especially with Always Watching. Flyer versus Delirium Enabler. Green-white Delirium is quite the deck. I'll take the Shepherd because it's more rare. I think we probably can find a Vessel later, I presume. Maybe not. We'll find out. Well, Aristocrat is quite good. There's no green card, and neither of these white cards are good enough where I care. There is a Stitched Mangler, maybe blue-white, which is an archetype I've just... Unfortunately, I've found blue to be quite weak in this format in general, besides the blue-red spells deck. So, I could also take Compulsion. Black-white value is a deck I've had a lot more success with than I really thought I would. Aristocrat's only going to be good with Skeleton, Call the Bloodline, and a bunch of vampires. I think we'll take the Compulsion here. Like I said, I've had a lot of success with black-white value, which is very confusing to me that it's been working as well as it has. All right, we're going to take the Drifter here over Might Beyond Reason and Olivia's Bloodsworn. A lot of actual late red cards, but I guess the only good ones are maybe the Blood... Well, Blood Mat is the best of the picks. A lot of people like Malevolent Whispers more than I do. I think the card's fine, though. It's cool. If you have a Madness Enabler, you can do some crafty things with it. And Dual Shot is a great card for blue-red spells. And fine, actually a very good sideboard card, but I'm still a little unconvinced that it's a must main deck or should main deck. Okay, I mean, that's probably the latest deadweight I've ever seen in my entire life, so we're going to take it here, and I guess at this point just move on into black-white value, which is a good deck. I have no problem with that. So open the armory at this point, does find deadweight, doesn't seem worth it, does not find Always Watching. It's the latest Reckless Scholar I've probably ever seen either. There's a Puncturing Light I could take. Usually when you're in black-white, you're going to have more premium removal than a Puncturing Light. But that being said, my other pick is a Stromkirk Mentor, which doesn't really feel like it needs to be in this deck, so I guess we'll take the Puncturing Light. I could take a speculative Open the Armory, but I'd probably play a Puncturing Light. Well, let's take the Reckless Scholar now. That's... I think nobody likes blue. And I think I know why. All right, we'll take the... There's a Shard of Broken Glass, which actually can turn on your Delirium, which isn't that bad, actually. And it even kind of synergizes with Dauntless Cathar. Like, if this goes to your graveyard from cards, you're still getting value out of it. I don't even know if I need the Noble. I guess I'm actually going to take the Shard here. Well, there's a Late Watcher in the web. There's Inquisitor's Ox. And there's a Warped Landscape. I guess we'll take the Ox. Maybe we can make a Delirium thing happen. A little black-white Delirium. Alright, Manic Scribe. Second to last pick, Ethereal Guidance. I've played it before. Not a highly played card in this format, though. Alright, so like I said, it feels like we're going for black-white, but we'll find out. Okay, so there's another shot at Spectral Shepherd. There's another Fiery Temper, Farbog Revenant, Ghoul Steed. I mean, the only white card in here is Spectral Shepherd. I kind of want the Compulsion. I'm kind of cool with Compulsion. If your deck has a lot of evasion, it gets a lot better. But I think I'm just going to take the removal here over the Rats. I mean, you need to be attacked to really make Compulsion good. Or have Madness Outlets. It also is fine there. But it's a pretty premium removal spell. You can never really have enough removal. That's what I always say. Alright, Apothecary Geist, Devilthorn Fox, Expose Evil. So it's Fox versus Geist. We do have a Spectral Shepherd. We have Dauntless Cathar. And we have a Drifter. So we already have 3. That's probably enough to get us going on our first Apothecary Geist here. Pretty comfortably. There's also a Pale Rider in here, which is, I guess, playable alongside Compulsion, but Apothecary Geist will do just fine. Ooh, Heir of Falconwrath is very strong. It certainly works well alongside the Murderous Compulsion. It's also a Thraben Inspector in here, but Heir of Falconwrath is certainly one of those cards that can take over the game early. So let's just set aside our cards we're not planning on playing. I could still consider Shard of Broken Glass for a while. But let's put this Heir of Falconwrath in there because that card is very good. Otherwise, Geese's Bidding and Thraben Inspector are both very good too. So we've got Perish Blade, but I think we actually want this Neglected Heirloom. Granted, we only have Heir of Falconwrath at the moment, but it's playable without that, and with Heir of Falconwrath, it's just absurdly strong. So we'll take that. Yeah, not really giving up much. Paranoid Perish Blade, Survive the Night would be playable in here, but we'll take the Heirloom. Okay, there is a Triskaidek Phobia, but there's also Crow of Dark Tidings and Devilthorn Fox, so We have 1, 2, 3 Delirium cards at the moment. Probably not enough. I could take the Crow because it evades. That's much better with the Compulsions. That's a good reason to take the Crow here over the Fox. Yeah, you know what? That might be just enough reason. If I'm going to be playing multiple Compulsions, I really do need to make sure I'm flying over top. So I think Crow is going to be very good for that. Plus, it does help with our Delirium enabling, and we could very easily find some more. Okay, well, Wicker Witch does help with Delirium enabling as well. We also have Unruly Mob and a Strength of Arms. I think we're doing okay on removal, so I can dodge the combat trick that is Strength of Arms for now. And probably just take the Wicker Witch, I guess. I actually like Mob more than everybody, apparently. I've seen this card do some crazy things, but Wicker Witch seems like something this deck's going to want. We're going to make some Delirium happen here. Okay, I like Emissary of the Sleepless. There's a Machinations, but we're not making red happen, so it's kind of pointless. I actually think you can splash the top end in a non-white deck. Because the abilities on it are actually pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised with how good this card played. But we're going to take Emissary because it flies. We want our flyers. We're doing actually kind of good on flyers now. Our evasion is looking nice. Heir of Falconwrath, Dauntless Cathar gives you an evasive dude, Spectral Shepherd, Crow, Geist, Reaper, Emissary. Like, we're doing way good on black-white evasion at the moment. Okay, so we can take a second Ox. We have an Apparatus, and we have a Hope Against Hope. I actually think Hope Against Hope is a pretty strong card. I'm not really giving up too much for it. There is a Biting Rain, but I feel like it kills a lot of our guys, which makes me like it less. So I'm actually going to take the Hope Against Hope. I've definitely seen this card do some absurd things. So now we can take Ghoulsteed, Farbog Revenant, or Wicker Witch. Ghoulsteed is pretty good. It actually does work with some Madness enabling, and it can work with Delirium as well. So maybe we take the Ghoulsteed over the Revenant here. Revenants tend to go late. I actually would like Revenant for this deck. It's pretty powerful with a Hope Against Hope or Always Watching. But we'll take the Ghoulsteed. It's a threat that really does not go away, which I think is pretty strong. So I like Expose Evil. I like Pale Rider too, though. I don't mind taking the Pale Rider here. It doesn't look like our deck's going to need Expose Evil. We already have Deadweight, Double Compulsion, Puncturing Light. I guess that's it for now, but I think taking Pale Rider here seems fine. Alright, Accomplice is very good. So we're picking up... Our deck is coming together really nicely, actually. I'm going to take Macabre Waltz here. We actually don't have any bomb creatures yet, I guess I want to bring back, but it's another Madness Enabler, and bringing back an Heir of Falconwrath would not hurt. Alright, we'll hate a Sanguinary Mage. So this deck is doing it. I mean, we already have a deck, and we have an entire pack to go, so always a good place to be. At this point, probably Shard of Broken Glass just not gonna have to make the cut. Especially not with Neglected Heirloom in here. Jeez, Altered Ego. Might just want the True Faith Sensor. There's not much else for us, and True Faith Sensor is very good. We already have Accomplice. Well, it works well with anything, but I guess we do have Accomplice, Cathar. We only have 2 humans? Kind of felt like we had a lot more, but I guess we don't. So I'm going to take the True Faith Sensor anyway. Passing Wildfield Scarecrow and I guess like a Mentor. Yeah, there's really not much else here, but I think we can find some more humans in black and white. Like Missionaries, for example. Yeah, Missionaries is super strong. Exactly what a deck with Neglected Heirloom and True Faith Sensor wants. We're passing a Dauntless Cathar and a Topplegeist for it, and an Apothecary Geist, and a Deadweight. Alright, so, and a Ghoulsteed. So basically every card our deck wants, but Missionaries has got to be at the top of the list. Alright, this looks like this could easily be an Inspiring Captain deck, plus another human would not hurt. So we'll take the Captain and start deciding on some cuts here. Maybe the Ox isn't necessary. I actually like the Ox, but I think we're trying to upgrade to humans. And I think we're going to be a 17 land deck, I'm pretty sure. So we get another crack at Indulgent Aristocrat. We did not get a skeleton, though. Open the Armory finds Heirloom and True Fate Sensor, and Hope Against Hope, and Deadweight. That's not a bad toolkit. I might just want a second Apothecary Geist. More so than a second Crow, I would say. Probably just take the Geist, and probably not run the Hope Against Hope now. I think we're more on just the Heirloom and True Fate Sensor plan, the equipment more so than the big-time aura. I'm okay with that. Ooh, I actually really like Silver Strike. Especially in a deck that has as many flyers as we do. We have a lot of flyers, right? Or do we not have that many flyers? We have Air, Cathar, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we only have 8, which is still enough. Silver Strike's just good, so we'll take it. We gotta find a cut for it, but I don't think that should be too hard. So we can take the Revenant, or we can take a second Emissary. I kind of feel like our top end is not so bad at the moment. Revenant still kind of evades, although would I even end up playing it? What's my Delirium? I have Enchantment, Instant, Sorcery, Artifact, Creature, Land with like Pale Rider. I actually think this deck can get Delirium a little bit easier than people might think. I might just take the Revenant over the second Emissary. I just don't think I'm going to need it. Kind of good on 5 drops. All right, let's take the Revenant here. Leonardo DiCaprio. Third Murderous Compulsion. I probably can. I don't see why I can't. With the amount of flyers we have, killing tap creatures is going to be valuable. I mean, usually the problem is you're taking damage already, right? So if you're taking damage already, why would you... How is it going to be beneficial that you're killing something? But this deck is kind of the exception to that because we've got a Revenant, a Silver Strike, and double Apothecary Geist. So, and actually Revenant fuels the Apothecary Geist, which is also relevant. So I think we are going to take the Compulsion here pretty happily, to be honest, and probably just cut the Puncturing Light at this point. We wield a Deadweight. Well, that's going in. That card's super strong. Here I think we're just going to hate the Stormrider Spirit. All the Apothecary Geist. Well, I probably can play all the Apothecary Geist and be okay with that. Land we don't need, I guess. Open the Armory, which finds Deadweights, True Fate Sensor. Does work well with the Missionary. I'll take it. I'm not going to play Stallion of Ashmouth. I don't think we're going to end up playing it, but whatever. All right. So we have some cuts to make. Always a good problem to have. So we only have 2 cards that flip Neglected Heirloom, but usually if you're running Missionaries, you want to run at least 2 pieces of equipment, so Heirloom's staying in. So let's make some cuts here. Maybe I don't need Macabre Bolts. There's not like a bunch of creatures I need to bring back. Maybe a Missionary and an Heir. But I feel like it's probably unnecessary in here. Then I need to make 3 more cuts. I kind of like this double Deadweight, triple Murderous Compulsion, Silver Strike removal suite we have. So I can afford to cut 3 creatures and still be okay. Go to 14 creatures. That's not a huge deal. I kind of want to keep my lifelink evasive guys. I could cut the Wicker Witch, but we do at this point have 1... How many Delirium? Maybe we only have... I guess we only have... How many Delirium cards do we have? I thought we had more than that. Do we only have 2? 1 Delirium... 2? Only 2 Delirium? Alright, well, Wicker Witch is gone then. I don't care enough about Delirium at this point. I thought I had a 3rd one, but maybe I'm just overlooking it. I don't think it matters. So, I don't have to keep the Pale Rider. It does work well with Compulsion, though. For 4 mana. Kill something, get a 3/3. Yeah, it's not bad. It's much better when you can instant speed it out. That's the advantage of it with Heir of Falconwrath, to be sure. I kind of like all of our 4 drops. I kind of like the late game of Ghoul Steed, and I kind of like all of our evasion. I like Inspiring Captain because human is pretty good in here with True Faith Sensor, but maybe I don't need it. Maybe I can cut back. I'd rather run the Apothecary Geist. The life gain seems good when you're evading. When you're going over top like that, life gain is huge, especially in a deck that's got such an excellent late game plan already. We have just great removal, always watching, flyers for days. Even Ghoul Steed just keeps coming back with like always watching, a 5/5 vigilance horse. Just never goes away. So then I just cut one more creature and I think we're good. What's the weakest creature in my deck? Probably is a non-flyer. So I'm assuming maybe Pale Rider. I think I like Pale Rider less than Accomplice since I don't really care about Delirium that much anymore, just for a couple cards that don't need it. So I could cut the Pale Rider and probably just be okay with that. Like I said, I think I'd rather run an Accomplice than a Pale Rider most of the time. I don't want to either have to discard a card or wait till I have no cards in my hand to be able to play it and not discard. I could cut the Revenant as well. I feel like cutting Pale Rider, though. So this leaves us 14 creatures, but we have a lot of... We're definitely staying busy early. Even though we don't have a ton of 2-drop creatures, we're staying super busy early. Double Deadweight, triple Murderous Compulsion. So it gives us time to get all of this evasion online, which at this point is certainly a significant amount, right? Air, Crow, Shepherd, half of Cathar, Revenant evades, triple Apothecary Geist, Emissary, Reaper. It's looking really nice. All right, so we're going to run it like this. I guess we're pretty close to the same amount. We'll air towards white, which they also say. Just because double white on always watching. This deck's really good. I would definitely rate this deck pretty high. I could even maybe put it low A. Let's just put it at 90%. I think this deck is very strong. Very premium, cheap removal. Powerful equipment, although not a ton to abuse the equipment with in terms of True Faith Sensor, right? Just like Accomplice, Cathar, Missionary. So that's only 3 humans, which is not that many humans, and we only have a couple cards. So our equipment is not really getting abused to its full extent, but the cards we do have to abuse with it are pretty huge, like Air of Falconwrath and Missionary with Heirloom or Sensor is going to be really good. So I like that. Yeah, let's give this deck a solid 90%. I think the removal, the hard removal coupled with the evasion makes it look like a pretty appealing build here. So we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.